Hello, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity to help you. I really appreciate you sending me your resume. And I'm going to go through some quick tips that I would give to you specifically. And this might also help anybody out there, not just some veterans in this field. And that's why I think this is very critical. Behind me, I have your redacted copy. I also sent two samples out to you. And I'm going to kind of talk about exactly why I did that. And the way that they look may not be perfect. Those were just quick blind snapshots to the two jobs that I also sent for somebody with your skills and capabilities. The first bit of advice that I would give is the qualifications are a little bit vague and they're capturals. And I get that. But for a field tech position, you have some experience here in different settings or in this area right here, accurately reading maps for fiber cable installations. A lot of this stuff doesn't talk about that. So what you'll see is the two resumes that I've sent you have specific competencies that fit for that type of role. If you're looking at a retail job like this, you want more customer service experience, de escalation, cash registers, stocking merchandise, signage creation. If that's something you have, I put that in there. You may not have that experience or desire, of course, take that out. But that was just something that's a little bit more direct to that specific job. So, looking at a position, let's say like a Trader Joe's, without giving the area, you have an opportunity like this that could 100% work for somebody in your field if you're looking for that. And how I found this job is not through Indeed. I actually did a quick Google search. So what I'm going to try to do, take that away. Okay. It's still there. Boop. But anyway, so we have here a Google Map search where I found this. Now, I do not know if this is close to you. It may not even be within the area of reasonability for you to apply to. However, did a quick search on their website and found, yeah, that there might be a position in your area. And I do know that Trader Joe's is very veteran friendly. There are other field tech positions that I saw, but they would overlook your resume almost immediately just because the core competencies don't really fit with exactly what they're looking for. They might look at it and say, well, he probably could do this, but let me go with this other guy because they have direct experience with exactly what I'm looking for. And that's what we kind of want to anticipate, putting ourselves in the shoes of the hiring manager and saying, hey, this is what the job description says. Does my resume have that on there? Yes or no? Now, there's a lot of positions in that field tech world that I think you should 100% work for, whether it be fiber cable installations, energy cells or fuel cells, different things of that sort. Now, those might require licensures. So look into those, whether it be an electrical license or some type of E&I requirement that you might have, but they also might help you just because you have military experience. The only way on your resume I would know you're a vet is because you say it up here. You say it in here that you worked at the U.S. Marine Corps. Now, I know a lot of veterans are like, listen, I don't want to put it at the top of my resume. I don't want to make sure that, I don't want to highlight that because that's not the only identity that I have. I am not just a vet. I don't only identify by that. Now, you may be something that you're maybe very proud of, and I appreciate that and I respect that. But I do know a lot of veterans that are like, I don't like to showcase it. I don't want people to know I'm a vet because it's frustrating when they say certain things or they give me certain leverages and I get being uncomfortable with that. If you are, I do not know that, of course, I'm not saying that you are, but in case that is something that you do feel a little concerned about, I can't give you full advice on that, but other than, you have to get over that little hump just to put it on the top of your resume. You know, military, veteran, honorably discharged, of course, is important. If you can put that there, if you can't, then understandable. Don't make any sort of inclination to it, but just put military veteran, and then from this day to that day, and then private rank, whatever it is. Just having a small snapshot, whether it be at the bottom. If you don't want it at the top, that is perfectly understandable, because most people that look at a resume are going to look at it and give a quick snapshot and go, okay, does it say the words that I needed to say? Does it, oh wait, he's a vet. Oh, cool. That's how fast they're going to look at it. 30 seconds, 45 seconds max. They're going to look up and down, and they're going to look at the education and then go back up to see you have a bachelor's degree. That's amazing. That's something that we want to showcase, where underneath, or I don't recommend this to everybody. This is not something I would do, but you could put your education up at the top. I always tell people put it at the bottom. They don't really care, but that depends on the industry and the experience. So I would keep it at the bottom for now, but my first inclination is that couldn't hurt to put education, University of blank, and then, Marine veteran status, um, you know, retired vet, or whatever status you want to give. You can put that at the top. You can leave education at the bottom, but I would highly recommend right underneath qualifications, or in the qualification sector, putting military veteran or something of that sort, so that it's searchable. Because if I go into Indeed right now, Career Builder, LinkedIn, or any of these application tracking systems, when I look at the word veteran, it's not going to come up for you. You're going to be completely out of that search query. And what a lot of individuals and companies utilize is called Boolean. So Boolean searches, you're probably well versed in it, are they put in a word, and then they put and, or, not, and that it lets them search their system. So when they're going into, and this is a good way to look at it, when they look at their search techniques, they might do customer service and veteran. Right now, if that search algorithm is based on your resume, you're not coming up anywhere. So you want to, as much as possible. Now, I don't recommend putting the word veteran in every single job you have. Of course, that gets redundant. But if you've used Excel in every single position you have, in one of these positions that you have right here, let me just do this really quick. Hold on, let me just reopen your resume up. I just noticed something that I want to change. Perfect. Okay. So now what I would do in this area right here, let's say within Excel, build customer loyalty by providing outstanding service, following through on commitments, and establishing rapport with customers. There's no word customer service in there, but you have the word customer several times. So what people don't understand a lot of times is, in Boolean operators, this search is actually in the computer says this: customer and service and resume. Anytime there's a space in most tracking systems or most CMS content management systems, when they do a Boolean search, any space is going to be end. What the actual computer sees is this. So if you're putting in certain searches, if somebody does this, then your resume is not going to pop up. Your resume is going to fall through the cracks because the word service isn't next to customer. It's separated. So it's two different words, where if you had outgoing mail, someone searched in quotations outgoing mail, then your resume would immediately pop up because there's outgoing and mail right next to each other. But if there's looking for outgoing mail and something else, and there's no quotations around it, then it's going to just find that individualized word as many times as you put it on your resume. The more you have it on your resume, the higher your relevancy score is going to be. What that means is how much are you relevant to the search query I'm putting in. So if you go to Google, which Google follows Boolean search protocol, if you go to Google and put customer service without the quotes, again, it's going to be customer and service. So it's going to find you every website that has to do with customer service and customers and service and veterans. So there's 3 search queries that we're looking at. What I want you to do is look at the overall. See, if you put genetics or cloning, you're going to find both, everything in between and everything outside of it. Right now, what you're doing, or what would be done depending on the person that's searching, is they're looking for customer, service, and veterans, but that's actually it's 3 circles. It's customer, and there would be a 3rd circle right in here in this area. Actually, let me open this up in Paint really fast, cancel, just to give you my full breakdown so it makes perfect, it makes full sense to misrepresent anything and maybe not go fully deep when I can, in the moment. But right now, the search algorithm that we've put is another one. So there's another circle here where it's only going to find customers and service. And so this is the word service here. Horrible handwriting. But let's go back. Hold on 1 second. So as you can see, again, it's going to open up that search query to 3 circles and only going to find you all 3 things together. So what we want to look at, and what I try to do, is specifically give you multiple resumes where we shift things around. And again, I don't recommend that for everybody. And I wouldn't recommend you to use those 2 sample resumes as your main resume. What I would do with your main resume, the one that you put on Indeed, US Jobs, LinkedIn, would be the one that you sent me. This one right here. I would first change this to have a little bit more sustenance. Customer service skills, attention to detail, strong collaborator. That's all good. Excel efficient, data entry score. That's something I also would recommend for you as well, is depending on the job that you're applying to, it does not hurt to put a data entry score in there. And you can literally go to Google and data entry test, and they have it free. Google search right here, data entry typing test. There's something to put in there because a lot of the positions that you're working with are going to track, hey, how much work are you able to do in X amount of time? So if you can say, hey, I can do 30 words per minute, 25 words per minute, that can help. Now, if you're looking for more of a field service job, you don't need that. Those are not important. What's important is going to be specifically, and I have that on your sample resumes, are things that are more predicated towards machine learning or understanding electrical systems. And again, I wouldn't put that right there, but electrical system knowledge or electrical systems. You don't have to put the word knowledge. That's a waste of space. Just to take my own advice, electrical systems, fiber optic maps. Fiber optic maps can be up there, and all the things in the qualifications that are going to fit to the job that you're looking for specifically. I think that will help you immensely. In these, again, depending on the position that you're working with, how many houses and how long did you drive? How many miles did you drive per day in your detailed predetermined route? Did you ever, and these are some of the questions that I asked myself as I was looking at your resumes, how many people on average did you help at the U.S. Post Office? Did you go through, and did you ever at any point pick up additional routes due to completing your tasks? I think if you're in a field service tech position, that'll be huge. Another thing too is in this position, You build customer loyalty by providing outstanding service, following up on commitments, and establishing rapport with customers. All great. Now, how many customers did you help over the phone? How many calls did you take per day at that space? That's something that would be, big to know. Communicating effectively with 40 customers a week. That can help. I'm not saying that that's going to put you over the top in that circumstance, but it's going to give the person on the other end something tangible to bite onto to go, oh, he's got this much experience and he's used to this volume of individuals. He's used to 40 people a day. Now, that can bite you in the butt a little bit because if you go to a client that's like, hey, we're a high volume place and we need someone that's comfortable with screening 1,000 people a day, and you say, hey, I worked with 40 people a week, that might take you out of the running. But if you read the job description carefully, you can change that number to fit what the person in the job description is looking for. Don't be afraid to have more than one resume with high volume, one resume with low volume. Again, you're not misleading or lying to anybody, but you're telling them the appropriate story that they want to hear. You only have 30 to 45 seconds to give them the information that they want, and they're looking for it. So that's one big recommendation. And then the next one I think is going to be really huge. The most important aspect of your resume is the date on this. The dates on this. So let me pull up my notes. Here we go. So your notes right now, one of the biggest things, the way that your dates are formatted leaves more questions than answers. So they're going to see this and they're going to go, wait a minute. All right. How long did he work there? Was it 6 months? Was it a full year? Was it 2 months? Did you work from December 2023 to January 2024? Because that's only 1 month or 2 months, if you, depending on how you count it. So that's something that I think would be really, really important for you to look at, is to make sure that not only do I want you to put in how much work you've done or who you've done it for, and then putting in, hey, dealt with, 800 pieces of mail a day, 20 pieces of mail, handled and helped 40 people in office after routes on weekends, providing changes of address when requested, or selling postage to customers requiring it. Right? And you could just get rid of that, requiring it. So selling postage to customers, done. You don't have to put the requiring it. We want to get away from as much extra language as possible and just keep it to the primary focus of giving them the concise, detailed information that we want to go. And that's where I think would help you immensely. And then the other thing too is, do not just look for someone in your field and with your capabilities. A great way to get it is to download your resume. If you don't have a printer, go to the library, go to FedEx, Staples, wherever it is, or find the cheapest place. If you have a friend, buy a pack of printer paper. Go to your friend's house and print out 80 to 100 copies of your resume. And you don't have to include a picture on it. You don't have to include anything. You have your name, you have your address, you have your zip code. But what I want you to do is look at the location of the places around you. So in that area, we can say, hey, retail. Here are all the different retail stores. Now, of course, we don't know if they're hiring. So the first thing that we can do, Marshalls. Let's see if they're hiring in your area. I have no idea. And you're not going to know either unless you come here, go into the website. Now, they have several houses. Now, I do not know if you want this type of job, but this can work with any company, whether it be field tech type positions, talking to telecoms, because you can come here and say, all right, well, I don't want retail. I want telecommunications. Let's see what pops up. And now look, Optum, Sigma, VoIP, another company you can message and be like, hey, give them a call, talk to their HR person. Let's see if they're hiring. And now this might not be close enough to you. It may not be in your area at all. But this is just another way of going through where, say, no one has this address that, they might be a small business or part of a big company. So let's say Sigma Networks. So they're part of Sigma Networks. Okay, well, let's Google search Sigma Networks. Now we're digging deep. Now we have a big company here where we can come over and then look at their office partnerships. Okay, it's not at the top. Let's go to the bottom. A lot of times, nope, it's one of these companies that hide all their stuff. That's fine. Because now what we can do is Sigma Networks, active clients, completed projects, partners, referral partner program, technology partner, our services, networks, VoIP, remote workforce company, meet our founder. So here's their founder. You can email him as well and then give him a phone call. It doesn't hurt to get out there and just say, hey, I'm a field tech. Where do I send my resume? Are you guys hiring? Oh, well, you'll have to talk to our HR department. Cool. What's their name and what's their number? I go give them a call right now. And that tenacity will help you, A, get comfortable with marketing yourself, and B, find some of the local companies. We have Fairfield Communications, Excel Communications, DataTel, NextGen, a lot of stuff in this area that can't hurt where they might not be posting online. As a lot of people right now are, oh, I'm so fed up with Indeed. It takes forever. I got to meet with 50 people. I'm busy. What's going to happen? How long is it going to take? But let's see if this is how it works. Because you come over here to one of their websites, and if it's not at the top of where they are, usually you can find it here in support or our company careers. As you can see, now I can find it right here in the our company section. Boom, careers. Not every website's going to do this, but some of them and a good amount of them are. So instead of applying to Indeed where everybody's going to be applying, this is a way to kind of break the mold and go out of the box just a little bit. Other than that, I think that's a good synopsis. I'm going to post this and send it over to you. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, of course, I have no idea what you're looking for. This is just a blind review on my side of just what I see right in front of me. What advice can I give? So I hope any of this was helpful. Any questions, any concerns, do not hesitate to reach out to me via email or message me on Reddit. I really appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity to connect and to help you in any way I can. And we'll go from there. So if you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, have a great day. Thank you.